Max Verstappen, great driver or great danger? On today's Wednesday Morning Drive. Hey everybody, Matt Cribbs here, and welcome back to another Wednesday Morning Drive. How are you? Drive. Yeah, I'll say it like that. Wednesday Morning Drive. How are you doing? I'm doing great. Perhaps I need a bit more coffee because I think it's one of those days. It's one of those mornings where I'm not quite fully awake yet, but you know, I'm up and I'm moving, but my brain is still catching up. I'm not quite there, so we'll have a little more coffee and hopefully that'll kick us into gear. How are you doing? It's been a busy week. Ryotcraft UHC is UHC number 2 is in progress. Well, the videos are in progress. We played this the other weekend. It was a great time. It was a lot of fun. Good to be playing with the guys again. As you know, we haven't. I haven't been playing a lot of Minecraft. It's not that I don't want to, not that I don't miss it. I love the game. It's a lot of fun, but there's so many people making Minecraft videos out there that it's just my time's better spent doing other things and other games that you guys like more. Although I am getting the bug to play some modded Minecraft, because none of these other games like Ark or Empyrean or any of these other games have a building mechanic quite like Minecraft, especially modded, and that I miss. The concept that you take these little individual pieces and you build them up into these big complex machines, and you have to have, you know, the wiring and all of that stuff to make things. That is something most of these games nowadays are missing. They just have one big constructor thing that magically makes stuff, and whatever. But one of my favorite parts of the game for me is building the machines that allow you to make the other stuff. So you know what, I am missing that. And if only a group of famous Minecraft YouTubers had just released a 1.10 mod pack. I don't know. If anyone knows about something like that, let me know. I know Hermit Pack came out, so I don't know. Who knows? But that's going well. Playing the poop out of Empyrean. It's a lot of fun. Building my base. The base, I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be very, very cool. And it's, you know, I haven't seen, there's not a lot of other YouTubers doing Empyrean, so, you know, support everyone that's out there and take a look, especially Shay and Clobberstomp, who are doing it with me, but, well, as part of Ryotcraft, but all the other ones out there. It's a small community, so it's cool. And a fun game. But that's what's been going on. And super busy with that. But in my other life, my off-camera life, my real life, not that this isn't real, this is real. We have a connection here. It's real. But like I said, more coffee. In my other life, I'm a fan of Formula One, and there's something that's been going on that is kind of, it's been getting to me, and you know, people are all over the place, and that, whatever, no teasers on there. The thing that's been going on is Max Verstappen, and Max Verstappen is a Dutch Formula One driver who is the youngest ever, basically. He's 19 now. He's incredibly young, and we have traffic on the road for some here. And he's not a bad driver. He's actually pretty good. Some people, depending on who you would ask, would say, you know, he's the best ever. He's the next Michael Schumacher. He's, you know, going to be the youngest world champion, whatever it is. But do I believe that? I don't know. I think it's too early to tell. This is why we have some traffic, because there's construction going on. But here's my issue. He's good. There's no doubt about it. He is a talented driver. He knows how to drive. He gets around the track. He wins races. And if you know Formula One, you know there's a big ongoing debate, and no one's really 100% sure. And people have opinions all over the place that, you know, what wins races? Is it the driver or is it the car? It's obviously a mix of both. Which one has the biggest influence? It probably depends on the time, and what season you're talking about, and the relative strengths of the different cars that are on the track, because everyone builds a different car in Formula One, not like IndyCar or NASCAR where they're basically all the same cars, but everyone's different. So what makes a race car and a driver win more really depends on whether one of the cars is a whole heck of a lot better than the other, which a lot of the times it is, or whether they're really close and the drivers can make a big difference. So all that being said, it's really tough to be able to look at someone and say, oh my gosh, he's incredibly talented. He's got all this stuff. He's got all these skills. So because there's all that. You have to look at their performance when they were younger, when they were in previous series, and with Max, it's hard because he is so young. He doesn't have a lot of that. Well, he has a lot of previous experience, don't get me wrong, but he doesn't have that long a career because he doesn't have that long a life. He's not that young. So, not that old. So, he's good. We'll say that. We'll grant that. Is he the best ever? Don't know. Jury's still out. But he's young, and he has some bad habits, and that's what really, really bothers me the most. He has a habit of defending in a certain way. And when you're driving a race car, there's certain things you can do and you can't do to stop the guy behind you from going around. Most series, Formula One in particular, that's the one that matters for this because it's what we're talking about, you're not allowed to move twice. So if there's a car coming behind you and you're in front and he's behind and he moves to the right, you can go to the right and you can block him there. But if then he goes to the left, you can't go back to the left. You're not allowed to do that. It's a rule. You can't do that. That would be called blocking, not defending. And there's been some argument about whether Max does that or not. I think sometimes he does. But that's not really the thing he does that gets, that's really, really bad in what he does. What he does is, as the drivers are coming in to slow down a lot to go into the turn, because a lot of times the pass will happen where they're going straight, and then they'll turn. And one driver tries to brake later than the other, because you have to slow down from really, really fast to very slow in order to get around the corner without flying off the track. And if a driver can wait a little bit longer than the other guy to hit those brakes and still make it around the corner, he can pass the other guy. He can get around the other guy and pass him. So you'll see a lot of that. But what Max does is, as the two cars are starting to brake and braking into the corner, he will brake and move. And that is incredibly dangerous, because what will happen is they're both braking and they're coming in, and he'll move into the place the other guy's going. Remember, the other guy is always braking as hard as he can, and so if he moves there, the other guy can't go anywhere. He either has to turn and go off the track or miss the corner completely or slam into the guy in front of him, in this case, Max Verstappen. And that is going to cause an accident. It hasn't yet. It hasn't really bit him yet. But what he is doing, while technically not against the rules, he's not moving twice in these cases. There's no specific rule that you can't move when you're, when you're braking. It's not in the rules that you can't do that. But I believe it's not in the rules simply because of an oversight, because it hasn't been really done this much before, because it is incredibly dangerous. So either they're going to write a rule that says you can't do that, and he's going to chalk up penalties out the wazoo until he learns better than to do this, or he's going to get rear-ended by someone. And hopefully, no one will be hurt when that happens. Either any driver on the track will be happen, but hopefully Max will pay the penalty, and he'll get his suspension broken, and the other guy can somehow keep driving. Doubtful. They're probably both going to crash out, and hopefully nobody gets hurt. But, you know, it's not going to end well until he learns that this move that you are doing, while you're getting away with it from luck and from the amazing skill of the other drivers that have been involved so far. I mean, he pulls this against world champions, so I mean, I guess if anyone is going to be avoid smashing into the back of your car because you pull a stupid move, it's going to be a world champion. So he's gotten away with it. Maybe he wouldn't do this against less skilled drivers. I don't know. That's actually a good question. I haven't really paid attention. Or I haven't really, I'll have to go back and look at that. Has he a brake late when it's been lower tier drivers, or non the best of the best, behind him? Although, you know, most of Formula One drivers are just so good enough that they're probably going to get out of the way. But until something happens that stops him from doing this, he's probably going to keep doing it, even though I think anyone would acknowledge, anyone except the most deluded fanboy of Verstappen will admit that what he is doing, while probably legal, well, definitely legal, but probably shouldn't be legal, is absolutely, certainly dangerous move to do. So I'm hoping this will stop. He'll mature a bit as a driver, and he will become a better driver. Because in my book, if you'll get wins and if you make races doing moves of dubious legality and absolutely unquestionable lack of safety, you're not really that good a driver. So anyway, it's been on my mind thinking about Max Verstappen and this stuff, because I watch the races every weekend. I watch the qualifyings. I watch all this stuff. I've been doing it for years. But, you know, there's so much fanboyism that, you know, he's the greatest, he's the greatest, he's the greatest, and yet he has this glaring weakness and flaw in his driving that until he fixes this problem he has, I can't put him up, in my mind, for even the tier of great drivers, let alone best. So, you know, hope you have a good week. I'll talk to you next week. Till then, keep playing, and see you later. Bye. Are you gonna get over?